After 99 years, it's a national institution.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the greatest product faceplants of the 1980s.
What the hell's wrong with that? I don't smell anything.
Number 10, RCA Dimensia. In the 1980s, people were obsessed with their odd vision of the future. RCA thought it could lead the charge into a new tech revolution with a so-called thinking television.
Now every sight, every sound.
There's only one problem. They got off on the wrong foot when they chose the name Dimensia.
Dimensia, only from RCA.
This high-end line of TVs and components promised to be the ultimate smart entertainment system. Admittedly, they were well ahead of their time. Unfortunately, almost nobody wanted it. The system was staggeringly expensive to buy and had a confusing user interface.
One remote control governs all of Dimensia's 7 separate components.
By 1990, RCA quietly pulled the plug. Dimensia was meant to be the dawn of the digital living room, but it ended up a costly punchline instead.
Technology that excites the senses.
Number 9, the Yugo Car. If the 1980s had a punchline on 4 wheels, it was the Yugo.
Others are trying to follow, but can't match Yugo's reliability for the price.
Imported from Yugoslavia and sold in the US starting in 1985, it was billed as the cheapest new car on the market. A brand new Yugo cost just under $4,000. Unfortunately, sometimes you get what you pay for.
From busy traffic to rough terrain, Yugo will lead you anywhere.
The Yugo quickly became infamous. It was poorly constructed and had clunky handling. Worst of all, it had an unfortunate habit of breaking down in the worst possible moments. One critic even joked it came with a rear window defroster just to keep your hands warm while pushing it. The Yugo disappeared from the US market in 1992 as its American distributor folded. It's remembered as possibly the worst car of all time.
Don't look at me. I drive a Yugo.
Number 8, McDonald's McDLT. McDonald's has had plenty of menu flops over the decades. Few were as weirdly over-engineered as the McDLT.
I'm talking McDonald's with lettuce and tomato hamburger, the McDLT.
Rolled out in 1984, the burger came in a massive 2-sided styrofoam container. It was supposed to keep the hot side hot and the cool side cool.
The beef stays hot, the cool stays crisp. Put it together, you can't resist.
One half held the beef and bun, the other cradled lettuce, tomato, and cheese. Apparently, McDonald's believed that to compete with the Whopper, some consumer assembly was required. The gimmick was clunky, wasteful, and not especially appetizing. The DIY sandwich kit, novel at first, wore thin. The environmentalist backlash over the extra styrofoam trash didn't help. By 1990, McDonald's dropped the McDLT entirely.
Could be the best tasting lettuce and tomato hamburger ever. New McDLT.
Number 7, DeLorean Motor Company. It looked like a car from the future. The DeLorean Motor Company, though, barely made it out of the driveway.
Beautifully crafted for long life.
John DeLorean's flashy DMC-12 with its gull-wing doors and stainless steel finish promised style over substance. That's exactly what they delivered. The car was slow, unreliable, and ridiculously overpriced. As it hit showroom floors across America, the company hemorrhaged cash.
I got a message saying DeLorean hadn't got enough money to pay the wages.
By 1982, DeLorean Motor Company crashed and burned. Its founder getting arrested in a botched cocaine sting didn't exactly help right the sinking ship. Ironically, the car finally became iconic thanks to Back to the Future. By the time it became a pop culture triumph, the DeLorean Motor Company was already dead and buried for 3 years.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious
Number 6, the Apple Lisa. In 1983, Apple launched one of the most advanced PCs of the decade, and one of its biggest failures.
From Apple. So advanced it puts us right back where we started.
The Lisa was the first widely sold computer with a graphical user interface, a genuine technical marvel that used icons in Windows years before its rivals.
At Apple, we understand that business as usual isn't anymore.
Unfortunately, it also cost nearly $10,000. That was mortgage money, and almost nobody outside of boardrooms could afford it. Those who did buy it found it slow, buggy, and impractical despite its groundbreaking design. Meanwhile, IBM's PC Junior and Coleco's Atom went the opposite route, cheap but laughably horrendous. The PC Junior's chiclet keyboard was ridiculed, while the Atom could literally erase its own files on startup. Apple priced itself into oblivion, IBM and Coleco cheaped themselves into the trash heap.
So command the powers of Atom. Nothing near it for the price.
Number 5, Sinclair C5. Nothing says cutting-edge innovation like a plastic go-kart you could die in. In 1985, British tech pioneer Clive Sinclair unveiled the future of personal transport, the Sinclair C5.
A traffic-compatible mode of transport that will carry you up to 20 miles on one battery, giving 1,000 miles for the cost of a gallon of petrol.
It was a tiny, low-slung, battery-powered tricycle. It looked like a cross between a pedal cart and a bathtub on wheels. At just 399 pounds, it was cheap enough to tempt curious buyers. Unfortunately, they found it wanting. The C5 had a pitiful range and topped out at 15 miles per hour.
For safe, controlled stopping power, just squeeze both brake levers at once and the rear drum and front caliper brakes will bring you smoothly to a halt.
Worst of all, it was so low, drivers were practically invisible to other traffic. Reviewers practically laughed it out of the market. They only sold around 14,000 units. Today, the C5 is remembered as one of the 1980s most laughable tech misfires.
So I suppose the acid test is, would I take this vehicle on a motorway or through a standard city rush hour? I think the answer has to be I wouldn't.
Number 4. LaserDisc Format Flop. Long before DVDs and Blu-rays, there was LaserDisc, the so-called future of home video.
I'm a little skeptical, but I listen. I listen to Flashdance. I listen to Duran Duran. I listen to Raiders of the Lost Ark.
First sold in the late 70s and pushed hard in the 1980s, it promised superior picture and sound quality compared to VHS. Unfortunately, it also came with discs the size of vinyl records. Laserdisc players cost a small fortune. You couldn't even watch a feature-length film without flipping the disc or swapping it out halfway through.
It's the finest in home entertainment.
VHS was cheaper, more convenient, and could record television. Despite its higher quality, Laserdisc couldn't compete. While it hung on as a niche format for cinephiles and schools, Laserdisc never cracked the mainstream. By the time DVDs arrived in the 90s, Laserdisc was already a relic of a failed future.
All I found was something called A Manual in Space on Laserdisc. I couldn't watch it, but it sounded sexy. Laserdisc.
Number 3. RJR Smokeless Cigarette Premiere. Imagine a cigarette so bad it made smokers wish for real-deal cancer sticks. In 1988, R.J. Reynolds launched Premiere, a smokeless cigarette that heated tobacco instead of burning it. The pitch was unique: fewer carcinogens, less secondhand smoke, but the same nicotine hit.
Alright, the way the cigarette worked was a carbon capsule that would ignite whenever you put a lighter to it.
The reality was absolutely vile. Smokers complained it tasted like burning plastic or charcoal. Lighting up required a bizarre puffing ritual to heat the tip. RJR poured a whopping $325 million into its development. Premiere flopped in less than a year.
They all said that? Nobody liked them?
Fewer than 5%.
By 1989, it was yanked from shelves. It was less of a health breakthrough and more of a boondoggle for a company that certainly had it coming.
And who the hell would sneak into a John to smoke one of these?
Number 2. Atari Shock and E.T. game. Few visuals capture an industry collapse quite like a landfill full of unsold games. In 1982, Atari rushed out E.T. the Extraterrestrial in just 5 weeks, hoping to cash in on Spielberg's hit.
Only from Atari. Made especially for systems from Atari.
Instead, it became one of the worst video games ever made. Millions of cartridges went unsold, and urban legend claimed they were secretly buried in a New Mexico dump. The fiasco fueled the 1983 video game crash when Atari and the US market as a whole imploded.
The game became the biggest commercial failure in video game history.
Demand plummeted, companies folded, and consoles gathered dust. In 2014, a landfill dig confirmed the myth, unearthing the lost copies of E.T. Atari's empire crumbled and was buried in the desert like a failed geeky mafioso.
E.T. is definitely here.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. New Coke. It's not easy to enrage your entire customer base in one fell swoop, but Coca-Cola managed to pull it off. In 1985, desperate to outsweet Pepsi, the company scrapped its century-old formula.
Tomorrow, Coca-Cola Company will tell a thirsty world it's putting a smoother, sweeter taste into the most instantly recognizable bottle in the world.
They rolled out New Coke, leading to a full-blown cultural meltdown.
It just goes down your stomach like a dead glass of water, whereas the old Coke just bites.
Fans revolted, hotlines were flooded, and protest groups with names like Old Cola Drinkers of America sprang up overnight. Within just 79 days, Coca-Cola caved. They re-released Coca-Cola Classic, cementing New Coke as one of the most infamous product flops of all time.
I like Coke and the old Coke.
Pepsi wasn't all top 10 hits either. They tried to compete with coffee as a source of caffeine in the morning. Pepsi AM was an epic faceplant, but nothing could match Coca-Cola's self-immolation. Have we been unfair to the Yugo or New Coke? Did another 80s product deserve the crown of 80s biggest belly flop? Let us know in the comments below.